Like and subscribe if you want to see more content about the lives of the saints. Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, a life of devotion and holiness. Introduction. Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, also known as the Little Flower, is one of the most beloved and admired saints in the history of the Catholic Church. Her life, though relatively short, was filled with profound spirituality, unwavering devotion, and deep humility. Born on January 2, 1873, in Alsace, France, she entered the Carmelite convent at a young age and eventually became known for her little way of spiritual practice. Thérèse's path to sainthood and her enduring impact on the world are a testament to her extraordinary faith and the significance of her teachings. Early life and family. Marie-Françoise Thérèse Martin, known as Thérèse, was born to Louis Martin and Zélie Guérin in Alsace, France. She was the youngest of 9 children, 5 of whom survived infancy. Her parents were deeply devout Catholics, and their faith and commitment to living a life centered on God strongly influenced Thérèse from a young age. Tragically, her mother, Zélie, died of breast cancer when Thérèse was only 4 years old. This early loss had a profound impact on the young Thérèse, who felt a deep sense of abandonment. Thérèse was described as a sensitive and spirited child, deeply attached to her father and her sisters, especially her older sister Pauline, who would later become a significant figure in her spiritual journey. The Martin family was well off but chose a simple and devout way of life, which would become a guiding principle in Thérèse's future spiritual development. Spiritual awakening. Thérèse's spiritual awakening began at a young age, as she grew up in a household that emphasized prayer, devotion, and love for God. At the age of 9, she experienced what she called her conversion, a moment when she felt God's grace touch her deeply. This profound encounter with the divine marked the beginning of her spiritual journey and set her on a path of increasing holiness. Thérèse's spiritual life was deeply influenced by her reading of the lives of the saints, especially the autobiography of Saint Thérèse of Avila, which she read at the age of 14. This reading left a lasting impression on her and ignited her desire to become a Carmelite nun. However, her dream of entering the Carmelite order was complicated by her age and the strict requirements for admission. Entry into the Carmelite convent. After facing initial obstacles in her desire to become a Carmelite nun, Thérèse was finally granted permission to enter the Carmelite convent of Lisieux at the age of 15. She was the youngest member of the community, and her entry into the convent marked the beginning of her life as a religious sister. Thérèse's life as a Carmelite nun was characterized by her commitment to a life of prayer, simplicity, and humility. Thérèse embraced her religious vocation wholeheartedly, taking the name Sister Thérèse of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Throughout her time in the convent, she sought to live out her spirituality through small acts of love and sacrifice, which she referred to as her little way. The little way. Thérèse's little way is at the heart of her spirituality and her journey toward sainthood. The little way is a path to holiness that emphasizes doing small, everyday tasks with great love and devotion, rather than seeking grand and heroic gestures of piety. Thérèse believed that even the smallest acts of kindness, performed out of love for God, could lead to spiritual growth and closeness to God. Thérèse wrote extensively about her little way in her autobiography, The Story of a Soul, which was published after her death. In this work, she shared her deep insights into the nature of God's love, the importance of humility, and the significance of childlike trust in one's relationship with God. Her teachings have since inspired countless people to embrace simplicity and humility in their spiritual lives and to find holiness in the ordinary. Illness and suffering. Thérèse's time in the convent was not without its challenges. She experienced a series of illnesses, including tuberculosis, which would ultimately claim her life. Her physical suffering, along with the spiritual dark night of the soul that she endured, made her journey all the more remarkable. Thérèse never wavered in her faith or her commitment to her little way, even in the face of physical and spiritual trials. Thérèse's attitude towards suffering was deeply influenced by her belief that suffering could be a way to share in the redemptive suffering of Christ. She saw her own suffering as an opportunity to draw closer to God and to offer her pain as a sacrifice for the salvation of souls. This perspective on suffering was a central aspect of her spirituality and played a significant role in her eventual canonization as a saint. Death and legacy. Thérèse Martin passed away on September 30, 1897, at the age of 24. Her death marked the end of her earthly journey but the beginning of her enduring legacy. Despite her short life, Thérèse's impact on the world of spirituality and the Catholic Church was profound. Thérèse's spirituality, as expressed in her little way, resonated with people of all walks of life. Her emphasis on simplicity, humility, and love in small acts drew followers from various backgrounds and has continued to inspire countless individuals to seek holiness in their everyday lives. Thérèse's writings, particularly The Story of a Soul, have been translated into numerous languages and remain widely read to this day. Canonization and recognition as a Doctor of the Church. Thérèse was beatified in 1923 and canonized as a saint by Pope Pius XI in 1925. Her canonization process was remarkably swift, reflecting the widespread recognition of her sanctity and the impact of her spiritual teachings. She was also declared a Doctor of the Church by Pope John Paul II in 1997, a title given to those whose theological writings and teachings have made significant contributions to the understanding of Christian doctrine. The title of Doctor of the Church bestowed upon Thérèse reflects the depth and wisdom of her spiritual insights, as well as her enduring relevance to the theological and spiritual traditions of the Catholic Church. Conclusion. Saint Thérèse of Lisieux's life and teachings are a testament to the transformative power of simple acts of love and devotion. Her unwavering faith, even in the face of suffering, and her commitment to her little way have made her a beloved and influential figure in the history of the Catholic Church and beyond. Thérèse's path to sainthood and her recognition as a Doctor of the Church highlight the enduring impact of her spirituality and the universal appeal of her message. Thérèse's life is a reminder that holiness is not reserved for those who perform grandiose acts of piety but is attainable for anyone who seeks to love God and others through small, everyday gestures of kindness and selflessness. Her legacy continues to inspire people to live with humility, simplicity, and an unwavering trust in God, and for these reasons, she is celebrated as a saint and spiritual